What many Americans don't know is that 9/11 was one of the worst environmental disasters in American history. For the past several years, I've been making 9/11's Unsettled Dust. This documentary reveals the little-known history of the environmental and health effects caused by the unprecedented release of toxic chemicals that occurred on 9/11.
I remember pulling over on Queens Boulevard. I had just got a cup of coffee and I sat there and I started to read the Post. And then all hell broke loose. We jumped into an unmarked police car and I said, I don't know what this is about. We took out shotguns in the locker. We didn't know what the heck was going on.
When I was there, it was like snowing. The ash was coming down. It seemed like there was no heaven and no earth. It seemed like it was just pure hell.
You know asbestos was in there, is in those buildings, lead is in those buildings. There are the VOCs. However, the concentrations are such that they don't pose a health hazard. We're going to make sure everybody's safe.
For 5 days, the smell was the most intense thing I've ever seen. For 5 days, I bitched and moaned that there were people walking around. You know, not only did we inhale and breathe in the air, we were drinking it and eating it because there were young girls there, candy stripers from area hospitals or volunteers with trays handing us McDonald's. They didn't have proper respiratory gear.
This is my original respirator from Ground Zero that I got 10 days later. But before that, I didn't have anything.
Fue tanto mi deseo de servir socialmente como ayudar que no pensé en mí. No pensé que me podía hacer daño, no pensé la consecuencia. No me di la consecuencia porque no pensaba en ese momento, no pensaba en que había nada malo.
Congress investigated, concluded. The EPA Inspector General investigated, concluded. The EPA Ombudsman investigated, concluded that Christy Todd Whitman did not tell the truth.
So when we suddenly come out with this story that there's all these toxic releases in the very areas that people have been let back into, it created a huge uproar in the community, among the government and city workers and financial industry workers who had come back to work.
After 9/11, Republican senators said that they do whatever it takes to rebuild. But yesterday, they betrayed their promise. They betrayed their promise by not giving us enough votes on the floor of the Senate to pass the James Adroga Health and Compensation Act.
The Republicans yesterday in the Senate did not forget the heroes and heroines of 9/11. They punched them in the face. They deliberately and with malice aforethought punched them in the face.
I've been called a lot of things over the last few years. I'm out of control. I'm a flamethrower. I'm a pistol.
Really?
But I'm a reaction to their lack of action.
You got another hour and a half in you?
Yes.
I mean, we're trying to get a bill passed.
I don't care about numbers anymore. I don't care about the facts about the bill. This bill saves lives. If you can't grasp and can't put your arms around saving lives, then you have no right being on the Hill. This is about Washington, D.C. helping out people from 431 congressional districts that went to Ground Zero. New York wasn't attacked. This country was attacked.
Calendar number 641, H.R. 847, an act to amend the Public Health Service Act to extend and improve protections and services to individuals directly impacted by the terrorist attack in New York City on September 11, 2001, and for other purposes.
The question is of passage of the bill as amended. All those in favor say aye.
John Field showed the mettle of the man. He said, can we get this? And it'll last for 5 years. Let's take it. John, you are amazing.
When the bill passed, the first words out of my mouth was, this bill's not perfect. On a scale from 1 to 10, I give it a 6. But we're going back to New York with a 6 instead of a 0, and that's a lot better. I can't give this bill a 10 because nothing's perfect. I can't give it a 9 because it took so long to pass. And if we get cancer added to the bill, I'll give it a 7.5, maybe an 8. And those would have we have a lot more work to do.
As you probably know, the James Zadroga 9/11 Health and Compensation Act passed thanks to the hard work of too many good people to even mention issues. The bill covers chronic cough and laryngitis and carpal tunnel syndrome, but didn't, and I don't want to appear ungrateful, cover cancer, which is apparently one of the conditions of a congressional compromise that they did to get the bill through. And that was to remove the illness first responders have contracted in staggering numbers. In just weeks, the World Trade Center Health Program Scientific Research Committee will vote on whether or not to recommend adding cancer coverage to the James Zadroga 9/11 Health and Compensation Act.
We've been to D.C. 13 times since January. Whoever thinks this bill does not get extended, you're crazy. I am confident by the end of the year, the James Zadroga Health and Compensation Act is going to be renewed and reauthorized.
Sanitation worker, Mark Balaha, New York City DOS. Sanitation worker, Alexis Solomon, New York City DOS. Sanitation worker, Rosalino Fanara, New York City DOS.
Your support will help us complete 9/11's unsettled dust in a timely fashion and ignite public pressure to renew the James Zadroga 9/11 Health and Compensation Act. Thank you.